What is up, y'all? We are back with another episode of Pushing Buttons. This is episode 46 because we fucked up. It's 46 because we fucked up last week, y'all. We didn't have an episode because I messed up or somewhere along the lines, some shit fucked up and it didn't record the episode. So we're on episode 46 again. I am one half of the Bromance B. And I am joined by my lovely friends and co-hostesses and hostesses of the Pushing Buttons podcast. To my left, I have the very popular, melanin glowing, microphone toting, skin glowing, the second most beautiful man on planet Earth right after my pappy, Keith.
What's going on? Okay.
Keith, what's up, man?
What's up?
And then next to Keith, we have a good friend of mine, friend of the show, a brother in a sense now, the Cuban sensation, the Republicans of Republicans, Jimmy Iovine.
Hey, what's up?
Jimmy, what's up?
Not much. How are you?
You know, here. And then all the way to the end of this couch, we have the very popular, very Instagrammable, Miss IG her damn self, Claudia.
What's going on?
Who I'm sure y'all missed very fucking much. Claudia's been absent. She was on the last episode, but again, so she's really just back. This is her episode back. So welcome back, Claudia.
Thank you. Nice to be back.
This is your Michael Jordan letter to the world. I'm back. So yeah, before we go around the room and see how everybody is doing, I do want to say that we are on all streaming platforms. We are on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and we are on Anchor for your ass. We're on YouTube, so go subscribe. We would greatly appreciate it, and Keith would greatly appreciate it, even though he won't tell you.
Do you tell them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Every week, I tell them I greatly appreciate them.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to go around the room and see how everybody is doing, and we'll start with Keith. Keith, how you be?
All right. Long week, but it's all right. It's life, you know.
It's life?
Summer.
Okay.
A lot of people outside.
Mm-hmm. The idiots are out.
And it's getting hot.
Yep. All right. Well, Jimmy, how you be? All right. Exciting. This is exciting. Claudia, how you be?
Good. I'm on vacation mode. Next week I'm off.
Oh,
so
fancy. She got a lot of vacations.
Yeah.
I haven't been on vacation now.
But yeah, it's today I went into work. It was the first Friday actually going physically into work. So I'm kind of getting used to that.
Oh, you haven't been to inside?
On a Friday? Yeah, no.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Excuse us. We got a person who works from home and another person who works from home. Like, we got the work from home crew over here.
Yeah.
So it's cool. You know, they're the bougie. That bougie end of the podcast is over there. Today they're number one, Keith. They're number one today. Claudia has overtaken your spot on the bougie scale. Well, I'm glad you guys are doing fantastic. I'm glad life is super exciting for all of you. I'm doing all right. I'm doing as good as it's gonna get. I was out today. I was off. Thank you. Happy Juneteenth.
That's tomorrow.
Happy Juneteenth. Yeah. But I was off for the observed day of it. So was Jimmy.
Oh, today is the observed because it's Saturday.
Yeah. It's because it's on a Saturday. So thank you, Juneteenth folk. Thank you, Juneteenth.
Who is Juneteenth folk? Who's that?
That's something you're supposed to be knowledgeable on, you know.
Never heard about it. Am I?
Don't throw them on me.
I'm not throwing them on you. I just want to know.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. We're off. That's all I know. It's like one of those things where they tell you you're off at school and you don't ask questions. You're just like, fuck it, I'm off.
Okay.
Don't ask questions. So happy Juneteenth, y'all. Also, last week we said Happy Pride Month, but we didn't get to divulge into it because we fucking didn't get the recording. So, Jimmy, you weren't here. We had a very interesting conversation. We talked buttholes. We talked sex.
my God.
We talked puppy love. We talked fetishes. It was a very interesting conversation. I was telling these folks how I've encountered my eye has been opened in a sense of to all the stuff that the community does that I don't see in the straight world. So I was telling them about puppy love, about the puppy stuff with the dog collars and the drinking out of a bowls and shit. And then I was telling them like how many terms I learned, twink being one of them. There was the other one. What was it? Pocket gay? What was that again?
Pocket gay is
A short gay person. And we're back. Keith, no. Keith wasn't saying anything. Jimmy was saying. Jimmy was explaining what pocket pussy or pocket was. Pocket gay. Pocket gay. Pocket gay. Pocket gay. Sorry, Jimmy.
It's okay. Pocket pussy, I have no idea what that is.
I do, but go on.
Pocket gay is just like, they would say that to me because I'm short. When I was younger. And
Is that a universal term?
I'm pretty sure most gay people probably understand it. I don't know if it's as well known as twink, because twink is more of a porn term.
Really?
Yeah, so that's getting more into... I mean, it's a general term, but then that's also like a type of porn. Like, if you were to look at categories, like they have bear, they have cub, they have muscle, they have...
What? Wait, what?
Wait,
What?
explain. Go back.
Backwards. Okay, they have what?
So a bear is like a big, like a fat...
Like a husky.
Like a...
Hairy
yes,
man?
Yes. I guess fat's not socially
Fat?
correct anymore.
Oh,
so yes,
Husky.
overweight.
A husky.
Overweight.
You can't say fat no more?
No. It's mean. It's
As long as
bullying.
you're not trying to be offensive, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, I don't care, but you
Yeah,
know, the
you were
world
just
the world
explaining.
cares.
Yeah, the world cares, exactly. So it's a larger man. A cub is like smaller version of that. So like a chunky, chubby person. And
We can say chunky, but not fat.
And they're usually hairy too. And then that's why they're bears. And then the cub. So like Yogi and Boo Boo, I guess. And then a wolf is like a muscle guy, but he's really hairy.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
There's like a lot. There's a lot of shit.
What?
Yeah.
Like you see, you learn
There's
something new every day.
Yeah.
Wolf, wow.
I learned that there's like a secret. There's secret spots for gay folk that straight people don't know about. Apparently, there's gay beach. I didn't know.
Hollywood.
Hollywoodiana.
I didn't know that. see. But you didn't know that shit, right?
No.
They were looking at me like I was crazy when I was like, I didn't know that. You didn't know that? No, it's not. You're not walking around telling people I'll go to the gay beach. Like, like that's not how the right. Like that's not how it works, you know. So
It was popping this weekend though.
Yeah.
it looks like it's popping all the time, but
Yeah. The gays
that's
like
besides
together.
the point. Is there any more secret spots I should know about, Jimmy?
I mean, I've never done any of this stuff, but I've always heard like the woods. But I mean, I don't know if this is still like a thing.
There's gay woods.
Because, you know, before, like back in the day where it wasn't like you couldn't go to like a bar, there weren't a lot of places for you to hook up. It was just gay people would go to the woods. And then if you were there and you'd see another guy, they would like hook up in the woods. People still do that now, but it's like if they like exhibitionist type of stuff.
But like in Chicago.
I think there are spots. I don't know where they are. I don't do any of that stuff, but
Look at you.
I'm sure.
Hey, he's not listening, I promise. Your significant other is not listening, Jimmy.
he would probably, I mean, you know, like any gay people probably know where to go, but I don't know. In Chicago, it's kind of cold, so it's probably not always the thing.
It's not the greatest thing to do.
Yeah, yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. So that's what we were talking about last week, Jimmy.
Okay.
We were having conversations about how my world has been opened up to all these new things, and how Claudia is our spokesperson, kind of, but not really.
You look down.
Hey, she said it, not me. You know, And it's interesting to see. And then I was telling them about how we're gonna be wearing like colored T-shirts at work or stuff that supports the community. Oh, that's what we talked about. We talked about the corporations.
Oh yeah.
About
The
corporations.
drama with that now.
Yeah, with corporations coming out and saying that they support the LGBTQ plus community and
But only for the month of June.
only for that
Yeah.
month. And how do you feel about that, Jimmy?
I mean, I feel like when I was younger, it wasn't like there just was no representation for being gay. It was a taboo thing. So it's just funny that we've come so far that now all the companies embrace it, and then now people have a problem with it. So I'm like, I feel like it's corny, but I don't have an issue with it. It's like fine. You know?
Like Chick-fil-A.
Oh, you mean because they're anti-gay?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, they also like when Pulse happened, they also donated food to people donating blood, and they opened their kitchen on a Sunday. So like they've done good things too, but I mean, they've always been anti-gay, so that's like not a secret, you know.
I still love them. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to y'all. I love Chick-fil-A. They're delicious. Their chicken sandwich is fire. Don't kill me. Don't crucify me for saying that.
So I'm not supposed to go to Chick-fil-A because that's
Yeah,
okay.
essentially. That was also another conversation I was having. Imagine, like, we know all the corporations, like, now there's, like, lists of people, like, or, like, whatever, the fucking internet warriors are out, and they're, like, they got a list of, like, all these companies who don't support gay people, and then they're, like, these are the companies, this is how much they've donated. And I'm like, these are the people that you know about. Like,
Right.
imagine the people that you don't know about, that do this on an even more low, that you probably support. And I mean, I think it's bullshit. Most people do support these brands anyway.
A lot of
Yeah.
people support brands that you
I
don't
mean,
know about.
and I think something, I don't know if we talked about it here in the podcast or I talked about it somewhere else, but I know Nini's Delis is opening back up. And that's people, I don't know if you guys are aware of all of,
We talked about it.
oh, we did? Okay.
Yeah.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
Oh, no, but I meant like
Oh,
about
that they're
them
opening. Yeah. I
back
found
up.
out that they were opening
Yeah.
too. Did you know about that, Jimmy?
No, what's the drama with that?
Oh, so Nini's Deli like was running their food place. They serve Cuban style, right?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Cuban.
Style sandwiches. And they got in trouble for during all that the BLM stuff. They got in trouble for not coming out and saying that they supported it. And then when they did come out, they were kind of supportive of the police. And they also had some like real homophobic things to say about the community because they're church people.
Okay.
And so then like they like fucking rallied in front of their restaurant and then caused it to shut down.
Yep.
And then now it came around the internet that they're opening back the fuck up. I think soon. And people are like, fuck that place. I have a feeling people are going to go back and people are going to forget.
That's what I was talking about with who, I can't remember, whoever I was discussing it with. And they were like, no, you know, they're definitely not going to succeed. And I'm like,
Yeah, they are.
Wait and see. People are going to go. People are going to forget. Yeah. It's all forgiven.
Right. The food's delicious. They're just going to go back to it. I mean, I've never been there, so don't.
Yeah.
I do not support that place whatsoever.
I've never been either.
I've never been, and I wanted to go, but never went. You've never been, right?
Never heard of it. No. I mean, I think like if you don't want to support us someplace like Chick-fil-A, for example, it's fine. I don't think you have to give people a hard time that still like to go. You know, it's everybody has their choice. If they want to go, then they should be able to go. You know. Just because I don't like Chick-fil-A doesn't mean that if Keith goes, I'm going to like hate him or give him a hard time. It's like, if he wants to go, then go. I don't care. It's his money. He's supporting it or he's doing what he wants with it.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I would give people a hard time.
So it's mostly like religious type things. The reason why they don't support it?
Some, and some are just homophobes.
Okay.
Some are just homophobes. They don't want it. Whatever the case may be, right? Like, there's a lot of like anti... they're going against some of the legal stuff that gay people can do in this country too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
So it has to do with money.
Yeah.
And
I mean, if you looked into most corporations, they all have skeletons in their closet, probably a lot of places that we like. So,
Yep.
I mean,
You're not going to get past it.
right.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you live in like in rural places where you support your own self.
Right. Yeah, Tammy, your little vegan spot in Andersonville is also homophobic. So just shut up talking to me. Just because they don't do it in your face or whatever, it doesn't mean that it's not happening, right? That's my point.
Right.
So yeah, that's what we were discussing, Jimmy.
Okay.
So on to better, more interesting things that we can all divulge in together. Even though like the LGBTQ stuff is cool. Happy Pride Month. So, we wanted to talk today about In the Heights. In the Heights controversy.
You brought this up before, though.
Yeah. About the
darker skinned people.
Yeah, I did.
Roles.
Yeah. I think we talked about that during when Keith's brother and sister-in-law were here.
Yeah.
About colorism. But it was off the podcast.
Oh, it was off. Yeah.
So, people that don't know, In the Heights movie came out. It's supposed to be centered around the Latinx community. Specifically, it's about a Dominican kid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's Puerto Rican in there too, right?
And
It's one of the
Cuban. It's everything.
Yeah, but the main characters I think are Dominican,
And
Cuban,
Puerto Rican.
and Puerto Rican,
Puerto
right?
Rican, yeah.
Those are the main folks that are highlighted in this film, right? And so it's a musical. I hate musicals. Not a big fan of them. Do you like musicals, Keith?
I don't go out to like.
You don't go out your way to see it. That's how I feel. I don't go out my way to go see it. Yeah. I don't hate them, but I don't like them that much. Claudia and Jimmy, you folks like?
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind them.
You like them?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know too many. Are Disney movies considered musicals?
The ones that
Like Lion King and
Yeah.
like, well, all
Is
of
that
them.
considered
Well, they all
musical?
sing.
They all
it's an animated musical. Yeah.
So they all of them then
are
are
musicals.
musicals
them.
essentially.
Yeah.
Because they all have songs in them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like.
I mean, I had one with all the songs, just the songs from the Disney movies. I used to have a VHS with just the songs from all the Disney movies.
Really.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
So you liked them growing up, you just don't watch them as much as an adult.
Yeah, and especially if it's not like it's not animated, so I really don't give a fuck. So the drama for In the Heights. Some folks out here, primarily from the Latinx community. I'm gonna assume it's not the Latinx community, but the Latinx community, but it is. Where do we think that the drama's coming from? Do you really think it's coming from the Latinx community?
Wait, what's the difference between Latinx and Latinx?
It's just me mocking Latinx. Latinx.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the proper way is Latinx. So
Oh, got it.
I'm trying to sound somewhat
I
educated
thought it
today.
was like you were trying to say like the Americans were like the American-born Latinos.
No.
one thing and-
No.
Okay.
So where do we think that the negativity and the pushback is coming from? From the Latinos, or it's from non-Latinos? Again, coming from somebody who's not part of the community, the culture.
I think a lot of it is originating with Latinos on. I know that I saw a bunch of TikToks about people that are Dominican that had an issue saying that their neighborhood in the Heights, Washington Heights in New York, is mostly Dominican. So why aren't they mostly featured? Why is it so more about Puerto Rican and Cubans too? And then they had an issue with the main actor being Puerto Rican, even though he's playing a Dominican character. So they were like saying that that's why they weren't going to watch it. But I think the media, because of clickbait, since they saw some sort of controversy, they just tried to like spread it like cancel culture. So I think it's coming from the media mixing like some people's outcry, you know? But I don't think in large overall, the Latino community probably likes the movie.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's a small group.
So there's pushback, Keith, coming back from folks. They don't like this movie because it misrepresented. There wasn't enough dark people in the movie.
And I think something that I also saw that had been mentioned was that Washington Heights, like you said, it was misrepresented. Mainly because it's a big community of Afro-Latinos. They're not as light-skinned. And that's where people are coming from.
But they are. Like, I would say. Like, we act like the entire community is just black.
They're not.
Which is not.
You know what I'm
It's not
saying?
gonna be-
Like,
yeah.
I'm in a household with Dominicans, and none of them are dark. like dark. They're brown. They're about my color at the most. You've seen. Does he look? Oops. Does he seem like black to you? No.
I wouldn't.
He looks brown, right?
Yeah.
My girlfriend, brown. One of their sisters, completely white, with curly hair, with really, really curly, like coarse hair. I don't know the proper term to say that, so
Oh my God.
going with coarse.
I have a friend that considers herself brown, and she always says that she hates that it's either black or white. And she was like, why can't we just say brown? Like, I'm brown. I'm not black. I'm not white. I don't pass for either one.
Yeah.
I'm brown. Why can't we just say brown? And I feel like the cast was mostly brown.
Brown, yeah.
They were brown. They were not. There was like one character. She was like darker skin, maybe like Claudia's complexion. And so I don't think Claudia is your white, you know? And then I think the old Cuban lady was the lightest skin person. She was Cuban. But everybody else was tan or different shades of brown, you know?
And then the one black guy.
And there was a black guy in it too. So I the colorism thing, I feel like it's coming from people that didn't watch the movie. Because when I saw it, I didn't feel like, oh, this is white. I felt like this is the Latin community. You know?
Especially because a lot of people don't understand how the islands work in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Just so y'all know, in the Caribbeans, there's people like Jimmy, there's people like me, and then there's black people. Then the people like Jimmy and the black people get together and create people like me, which is the majority. So a lot of us are just brown. So that, to me, it's the exact same thing. To me, I saw the representation. I was like, my people. That's how it is. But that's because I know that that's our skin color. That's how we are. You know, if I were to have seen people just like Jimmy, I'd be like, no, this is some BS.
Right.
Like, not all of us are like that, you know?
Right.
So I don't know. I don't understand what the big deal was about.
In that moment, like I'm watching this film, I'm like, wow, we've never seen this. Like I've never seen this representation, and even I'm tagging, and my people ain't being represented in this film like that. Like if everybody has to be pissed off, like we weren't even, like we got mentioned in one fucking part of the song, and there was a bunch of flags and they're mixed with them. So like, but that's what I'm saying, right? I'm sitting here myself, not being Dominican, Cuban, or Puerto Rican. I'm watching this movie, and I'm like, wow, we ain't never seen this before. We've never seen them represent our people like that, you know. We've never seen even the language they were using, the words they were using. I was like, man, like I'm understanding everything because I'm around folks who are from different parts of the Latino community, and so I'm like, man, like this is kind of cool. Like I ain't never seen some shit like that before, ever. Like I've never seen a movie or a film where I felt so like invited to, you know, where I felt like I was actually like finally somebody, even if it wasn't my folk, like we were finally being represented. And this is a perfect example of people tearing something beautiful and something that's never been done and tearing it down because of whatever the fuck. Like all this controversy is overshadowing what we actually did and accomplished with the film.
Exactly.
That's my issue with it. Yeah, that's what's upsetting because it's such a huge achievement for the Latin community, and then it seems like the Latins are kind of like crapping on it.
Yeah.
It's upsetting to me.
Even the one of the actresses from the One Day at a Time show, the grandma Rita Moreno,
Oh, yeah.
she got in trouble for what she said.
And what she said was like real benign too. She was just defending Lin-Manuel Miranda, who's Mr. Diversity. He did Hamilton, which is about a president in the 1700s, and the cast was black. They were Latino. They were white.
They attacked that one too, by the way.
They did.
Yes. The that was attacked by the black community or white people. Somebody attacked that film for the way it represented stuff, and I don't know, it was another twist into it where they fucking shitted on it.
Anytime you do like things like that, and somebody always gonna get mad at it.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
It just seems like it's never good enough. You know what I mean? Like they have an all Latino cast and a Latino production. The director, by the way, is Asian, but everybody else is Latino for the most part, which I, as a movie watcher, have not seen that very often.
No.
And for them to crap on it like before, and right when it was getting like all this Oscar buzz, it was getting really good reviews. It's got like a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes. And then for them to just like attack it when I feel like a lot of people attacked it didn't see it is upsetting, you know?
They attacked it because it was specifically the people weren't portraying the characters in the original.
Yeah.
Is that
No. They weren't portraying the people. Supposedly, the people from that neighborhood. On top of there wasn't enough Afro Latino.
So they want a specific, like if you weren't.
They want them
Afro-Latino,
darker, basically.
Yeah, if you weren't darker, you shouldn't have got the role.
Yeah.
But what if he was a good actor for the role?
And somebody else. And that's exactly what
Exactly.
that's exactly what.
Exactly.
Who said that? Was it the director? I think it was the director who came out and said that. He was like, at that point we casted the person who was best for the role.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Like-
they would have preferred a shitty actor
Yeah.
as long as he was dark skinned.
That's what I'm getting
That's
at.
what they're kind of like. I can understand coming out and saying, you know what, this was a good movie. I felt the representation. I appreciate it. I wish it could have been a little bit more color, and just stop it there. That
Right.
would have been perfect. But Jimmy said something amazing, and it's the fact this is the first time, for me at least as a Cuban, that I feel representation in such a big movie. So yeah, I'm going to be proud of it. I don't care what you talk about. I don't care what you're saying. To me, regardless, I'm going to feel proud of the fact that Caribbeans are being represented because
Yeah.
we're not normally represented.
No.
At all.
We're kind of
No.
on that
Yeah.
backseat, you know, of the Latinos. It's
The only
like,
time I
yeah.
ever saw the Cuban thing, that was the last time, and he wasn't even Cuban. You get what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like, he wasn't even Cuban. Like, we're not attacking Al Pacino for fucking playing. I'm laughing at
Yeah.
that, but it's the truth.
It is.
Like, we're not sitting around canceling Al Pacino because he played a fucking Cuban in the fucking whatever. He was excellent in it.
Yeah.
And I don't know
That's a
how
great
Cubans
movie.
feel about it,
We
but
love that movie.
I fucking love that movie. Like, it's the shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's
And
great.
we're not canceling it. How come we're not going backwards and saying that? You know? And that's what a lot of things. I think we've talked about this before, right? Where they cancel things, only certain things, right? Only certain things get canceled and other thing gets overseen, you know? No, this thing they've been canceling things forever. Jimmy's talked about it before, where they've canceled shows because of what they've said in those episodes. I think one of the Golden Girls, right? One of the Golden Girls episode got removed.
Yeah, there's there's a joke that was I think people took it the wrong way, but I can kind of see why people but it was an episode where one of the characters, her son is engaged to a black woman, and so her family's at the house, and two of the characters had a mud mask on, and so the woman wasn't wearing her glasses, and she thought, oh, you're his parents, and they're like, what? Put your glasses on. And they're like, what is this? And she's like, we're just wearing a mud mask. We're not black. So a lot of people, because of that joke, they...
See what I'm saying? But we pick and choose what we're canceling. Right?
But how you gonna cancel something back in the day when that was just the time at the time?
Yeah. I mean,
get it.
it's an old show. I mean, and they weren't in blackface. They were, you know what I'm saying? But they
Yeah.
kind of got around a way to sort of make a joke about it.
Yeah.
So I can see why some people would get bothered, but
It's actually a clever way of doing it to me.
Yeah,
Like, I give you a bigger
exactly.
props. This is even
Yeah.
clever, more clever. You wouldn't with a
Exactly.
mud mask.
But then at that point, jokes aren't. What's a joke at this point? I can't
Yeah.
joke around with anything.
And I talked about this with somebody at work too. I was like, at some point, and I think I've said it here before, at some point we got to start owning the stereotype. Like, it's the truth. Like,
Yeah.
for a stereotype is about 90% accurate. I would say 90% accurate. Like, you know what I'm saying? Mexicans like tacos. Indeed. For sure. You're going to find 90% of Mexicans like tacos. Like, that is a fact. And it doesn't matter who it comes from. At least not in my eyes. I don't care who says it. You're right. As long as you're not saying it to be a dick, you know?
Right.
Even then, I still probably wouldn't care. But like, that's exactly what I'm talking about, right? Where we gotta start owning up to this shit. It's starting to get really annoying, man. I was reading all the articles before I got here, and then I read them a couple weeks when they first came out, and I was just like, this is fucking annoying. Like, people are by far the most. This is the most sensitive.
I think people want us to know about history, but then want to cancel history. How
Yeah.
does that work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want us to know about a history, but then you don't want us to see
Right.
the
Right.
history.
Right.
You don't wanna
How
see the
can I know
reality.
a history if I don't ever see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't want me to see it.
Well, we would never find
Yeah,
out
we'd never
anything
find out.
at that point, you know. And so it's very interesting to see I don't know, man. I don't think. I thought the film was fucking awesome, man. The film was great.
That's really good.
Like I really thought it was good,
was
and I
good.
hate musicals.
It's
Like
was good.
beautifully made. I thought like the scene where they're showing the old lady and she was cooking all the Hispanic food. They
Yes.
represented so much of it so well. So for it's almost hurtful a little bit that Latinos are coming after it, like wanting to step on it. And I feel like
I don't think it's Latinos.
it's
You
not.
think it's white?
Yeah, I think it's whites. It's falling under the white and black agenda again.
I feel like it might be white people trying to.
Yep, I think it's white people and
Trying to
black people
ruin it.
going at it again.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. So we're gonna continue to have this battle, and we're gonna lose. Like it's scary, man. Like we're heading in a very scary direction.
And going off of what Jimmy said about representation, I was actually thinking just when I saw, at least, I don't know if you grew up with this, but the crackers, the cheese, and the guac.
Yep.
When I saw that, I started to freak the fuck out. I was like, they did not just show this, because you show this to other people. If I show that to you and you're like, what the hell is this? And I'm like, it's one of the best snacks. Like, that's all you can have. And seeing that scene, it's so authentic. Like they stuck to that culture and what it is. And even with, I can't remember the film. You guys might know, but it's this black and white film that got major buzz with the the native from Mexico, and it. I think she won.
Apocalypto?
Roma.
No, Roma. Yes.
Roma? Oh.
Even with that, but that was the other way around. A lot of, I would say, some of the Central and South American actors were basically saying, why would she get a role if she's just an indigenous? And to me, I'm like, what? First of all, that is authentic. That's part of the culture. You need to remember where you come from. You can't just forget about that. Yeah. And it was just very sad to see. And it reminds me a lot of what's going on now with In the Heights, but reversed.
So, let me push some buttons. It wouldn't be the Pushing Buttons podcast without me pushing some buttons. And do you change your stance on it now, Claudia? On the representation of, or is it different because it's the Latino community? Because remember, we disagreed. Mm-hmm. We disagreed on the representation of the amount of black people being featured, or dark people being the darker skin tones of cultures being represented in films. Do you think that they're still underrepresented, or do you think you're still sticking to that? I mean, are you still sticking to that they're underrepresented, or are you?
I definitely still do believe within like the black community that there is a sense of colorism when it comes to films. I mean, there are black people in films.
A lot.
But what I'm saying is the colorism. It's just something I've noticed. It's something that continues to come up. But yeah, no, I wouldn't change my stance on that.
So it's still not enough dark-skinned people in film and movies. Correct.
Correct, yeah. Like the colorism.
You, Jimmy.
So you met my mom. She's whiter than I am.
Yeah.
But my dad is probably darker than both of you maybe combined.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's very indigenous. And so my sister looks more like Claudia, but my brother looks more like me. And so within my own family, I have like, it just goes the scale from like white to dark, Ooh, shit. Sorry.
You get to hear him, right?
Yes. We can.
Yeah, we can.
Okay, sorry. It's just, I don't know. I feel like people need to open their eyes more to what being a person of color is, because it's not just being black or just being white. And I feel like they're misrepresented, or there's not enough representation. I feel like we've made huge strides. I'm seeing more people of color across the board, and a lot of stuff I'm seeing.
This guy's good.
Could it be better? Sure. But is it as bad as it was 10 years ago? No.
That was good.
So,
Like Jimmy said.
so Jimmy, yes or no?
I think that I'm seeing a change. So I would say that it's gotten better. But I'm also not a person of color, so I don't want to sit here and say like, oh well, there's enough black people. I don't want, you know what I mean? Like I don't
You
want
can
to
say it without sounding that way.
I mean, I just don't want it. I don't want it to come across that way because I feel like if you are a person of color, you're dark skinned, and you feel like you're not seeing yourself enough, I don't want to sit here and say that you're wrong because you're entitled to your opinion. I'm saying I've seen a huge change, and I think we're seeing more representation.
Not you, Keith. You're black. You tell us. Is there enough representation in TV and movies for darker skinned people?
Yeah, it's fine for me. I mean, I don't look at a TV and say, why isn't a black person in it? That's not what I'm looking for. I just don't know do we not want white people on TV anymore? Is that where we're going?
I guess. I mean, I can't answer that for you.
What could you? But I don't know. It's just weird to me to think of, why would you always, is that the first thing you're looking for?
Are we going?
Are we going too extreme with it?
Right. So it seems like we're going in a direction
too extreme, like
that the direction is like at some point it should be nobody but that.
Yeah, and that's not realistic in America because that's not, again, America is.
I think that there's a lot of representation of dark skinned folk.
Yeah, it's a lot of shows. It's a lot of things out there that you can watch now.
And like if you want to get like extremely dark, then you have to go away from black people. And then the argument comes up: are they?
But to me, black person.
Huh?
To me, a black person is a black person. Like,
But to them, it's not.
See that? I don't know. To me, when I see a black person, whether you are Caribbean, whether you're African, whether you're French, whether you're you're black.
To them, it's not.
But then that's how I look at it. So maybe that's why for me it's a different perspective.
We've had this. You know that, right?
I know that.
I had this on that episode. We talked about it with the racism stuff.
Wait a minute. What do you mean?
Well, black people don't feel like Africans are black.
Us.
And Africans don't
black.
feel like black people are them. And then there's like all these other communities. There's like all these sub-black people, basically.
But that's just like culture or ethnicity or heritage. Being white or black or brown is race.
Yeah.
But being Latino or American or French or African is just like where you were born, like where you're from. They're two different things. So I feel like people confuse that a lot.
Yeah, but still, the skin color is what I'm talking about. Where a black person sees somebody who I mean, it happens in their own culture.
It does.
And to say that that it's not done and that it's only rooted in white people and that they're the ones of the cause of the problem.
It's not. That's not
I've
true.
seen black people shun light-skinned black people.
Or the other way around.
Right.
Yeah.
And so at that point, who's
the enemy? Yeah.
Who's the problem? Who's causing the issue?
Well, it's like I have the issue where like now Latinos don't say that Spanish people are not Latino because they're from Europe, but Spain is a Latin European country.
Yeah.
And without Spain, we wouldn't speak Spanish. And like
They're still Spaniard though.
Yeah, they are.
That's what I'm saying. Like they're still Spaniard. To me, they're still Spaniard.
a Latino will call them like a white European or a white Spaniard. And I'm like, but a lot of them are darker skinned than darker skinned than I am, so it's just wild that you guys would consider me more Latino than someone that speaks better Spanish than I am that's darker skinned than me just because they were born in Spain and I was born, you know what I mean? Like, that's a little wild to me. Like that they don't want to claim Spanish people as being Latin just because they were born in Spain, but you could be tan, you could be black, you could be
I don't
whatever.
think they consider themselves Latino either, though.
A lot of them do.
I don't think so.
Latinos or Hispanics?
You think they consider themselves European?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they. There is a lot of racism with Spanish people.
Yeah. And they will tell you that they are the ones. They'll say exactly what you just said. we came up with the language, motherfucker. Like that. Like that's what they'll tell you. Seriously.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so I think that's where
I just think it's weird that we're trying to separate them like they're this totally different thing just because they're in Europe. You know what I mean? Like it's just like they're part of our community, though. You know, they're still.
I wouldn't consider them like Latino. Personally, I wouldn't. They're Spaniard. They're from Spain.
So I had a conversation with someone, and I would like to know your input and your input. But even with Caribbeans, a lot of times, for me, Latino was a term that I learned here in the United States. mainly because to me, I was always just Caribbean, an islander, Cuban. Bam. That's it. That's simple. So how about that? Because I've spoken to people from the Caribbean who are like, I'm a Caribbean. I'm not Latino. I speak Spanish. You can say I'm Hispanic, but I'm Caribbean. And they'll stick to that. And that's it. So what do you guys think about that?
Like, am I more proud to be Mexican than Latino? Is that what you're asking?
It's more of a region thing, I guess. It's a region thing, like the Caribbean and then Latin America. And then because there's also like Central America and, you know, it's the way that we tend to divide ourselves by region rather than just being like, we're all Latinos, whatever, you know?
Right.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that there's a lot of confusion about like, because I think a lot of people take it, if you're Latino, that it's like a race. Because my friend was trying to say that I was a person of color one time, and I was like, I'm white. I'm just, my parents are Cuban. What are you talking about? She was like, well, but you're Latino. And I'm like, yeah, but that's not a race. It's just, you know, it's a culture. We're Asian, we're black, we're tan, we're brown, we're white. You know, we're not one race. We're one culture. So I think like maybe we need to find other terms of uniting a culture, because I think that's what I'm trying to say about Spain. Like, I feel like they're part of our culture too. They maybe they don't classify as Latino, but they're still a Latin European country. And we're technically we're still technically like Hispanic, which comes from being part of Spanish.
Right.
So I guess like, you know, like Brazil, they're not technically Hispanic because they speak Portuguese. They don't speak Spanish. So I guess there's like a difference with like if you're in Latin America, you're not all Spanish speaking. So like I guess people want to like be seen for their own individual culture. But then there are other people that just are trying to group everybody together, and then people have an issue with that.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't, like, if it was up to me, like, it sounds horrible, right? But to me, I just hate all this shit. Like, all this, like, I'm this and I'm that, or I'm this and I was this, and my family's from this and I was this, and, like, it's just all fucking bullshit. Like, yeah. Like, to me, it's just all bullshit. Like, we're all fucking human beings. We all come from different parts of the fucking world, so we have different aspects on life and bring different ideas and traditions and food, and everything's just different. But at the end of the day, we're all just fucking humans. And so, like, that's the annoying part for me, right? And I think that's why I struggle so much to answer Amy's question. Maybe she's listening, maybe she's not. When she asked me why I didn't identify so much and why I felt shunned from the Mexican community, and it's because of that. I think it's because I am accepting of the rest of the world as a whole, and I myself identify as a mixture of everybody that I've encountered in my life. You know what I'm saying? So I've come across a mess of cultures in my lifetime, and I don't know. I just like learning and moving along and doing what I like. So if I like Cuban food sometimes more than I like Mexican food, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, it should be that way. And I think too often we get caught up in this whirlwind of trying to categorize all of us or put us in fucking boxes and shit. And then that just causes more division to me.
And a lot of times I've noticed that we love to blame white people for shit.
Yeah.
But it comes, to be honest, from the Latino community, from your own community.
Yeah.
Because this week I was called an Idaho potato, brown on the outside and white on the inside.
Oh my.
And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? First of all, at the end of the day, I bleed red. I'm not white on the inside. And I'm sorry that I'm not what you are imagining I am supposed to be. Now, if you want to fit your stereotype, by all means, go ahead, embrace it. Me, I'm just whoever I want to be. And at the end of the day, I know who I am and where I come from.
Yep.
And it comes from our own people.
Yep.
Wow.
Idaho potato.
I know.
I never heard that.
Wow. I've heard of.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
I might have to bleep that.
But is that no wait? Is that a real thing?
Dude, I never heard of it.
Yeah,
but,
me neither.
but
Did you just make that shit up?
he heard it before, obviously.
I've heard it somewhere. For sure. For sure. I heard the term somewhere. I wonder what they call
I've heard it
Mexicans.
before,
I don't.
too.
You said what?
I've heard it before too.
You too, right? Yeah. It's not something I made up on the fly. It's funny. I was on Twitter, great source of information. And this rapper named Vince Staples was on there, and he tweeted out a video of one of his buddies, right? His buddy's Asian, right? So his buddy's in this music video, and he's dropping N-bombs left and right, right? Like all over the place. It's a rap song. What do you expect? And so then all the comments are like, yo, Vince, how could you let this Asian dude say the word blah, 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 blasphemy? You know, why would you do that? What's wrong with you? What's the matter with you? So Vince, in response to all those comments under that video, he said, yo, I have his address and his neighborhood. That guy's a gangbanger. If you'd like to go talk to him and tell him not to say that word, you're more than welcome to go do it. But I'm not going to go do it. And then he also tweeted on top of that, he said, where were you guys at when Jackie Chan said the N-word in Rush Hour? He's like, I was out there at the march by myself. So,
Oh, wow.
I think too often, we're just caught up in bullshit sometimes. We're trying to like...
So they wanted him to not have him on the video saying it?
Yeah, they didn't want him to say it. This is the guy's video. In like the Asian dude, it's his music
Yeah, it's
video.
his music. Is it his music?
Yeah. Like his music, the Asian guy's music.
Yeah, but what if that's the culture he grew up with?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Like,
Are we still with that? Are we with that or are we against that? I know we're supposed to be like Gen Z.
With against
Like people saying,
so say a white person is around all black people and that's all they hear, and that's just the term of what you refer to somebody as. I can say it.
what's that called, Jimmy, again?
Huh?
What's that called again? The white person that acts black.
I'm not saying that.
What?
Well, I want to know. We could bleep it out. Oh.
What? Is it a white person that's that's black?
Yeah.
Or that acts black?
Yeah. Or the hard R if you want, but preferably
With the A.
with the A.
Yeah.
That's what they used to call Eminem.
Really?
Eminem.
Yeah, they called him a...
Have Eminem said it in the song?
I don't think so. At least I've never caught him. He raps too fast.
Yeah.
That's
That's a good question. Eminem has said a lot of shit in his songs. I've never heard him.
Say it.
He's like, nope.
No.
I'm not under this.
That's why I think that's why black people like him, because he's rapping about like all the fucked up shit that's going on in his life, and not saying the word. That's impressive.
Is it?
Yeah. What do they call Mexicans who act black? Do you know?
Nah, I don't know.
Come on. There's not a term for it?
No.
Gotta be out there one. No?
No.
Damn.
We refer to everybody as that's just who you are.
If you act black?
No. Not even if you act black, just a person. That's who you, but you don't go up and saying that to anybody though.
That's true.
Like I remember I said it before, you just don't go up and saying it to anybody.
That's true.
Only if there's like an interaction where they're probably mad or something, or you just know this person.
Have you ever said it, Jimmy?
What?
The GA?
The N word?
Yeah.
No.
You haven't? Never? Jimmy, come on, Jimmy.
He's like, no.
Never?
Well, you know, no,
I know you thought about it.
but no, I don't say that word.
I've never said it.
I bet you haven't.
Ever in my entire life have I ever
It's
said
not wrong
that
that you did say it. I don't care. But we can't be mad at people that say it. How us as a community gonna be mad when we put it out for people to say in music and stuff?
I don't know, man.
That's an unpopular opinion, Keith. I agree with you. But it's
How we
an
gonna be
unpopular
mad?
opinion.
So we're supposed to invite all these white people to our concerts, but hey, when comes up, you better be quiet. How we gonna ask for their money?
Yep.
That's how it is. Yeah, you can't.
I don't say it at all, actually.
Right, I bet
You said I.
Yeah, he just said
I
say it,
I don't say it at all.
So even with like your friends, you've never.
I say I don't say it at all.
Come on, B.
Okay.
Never said it. Not once in my entire life.
Exactly.
I wouldn't recommend a black person going up and saying that to somebody. That's stupid.
But I mean, that's just kind of like how back in the day, 10 plus years ago, everybody would say if something was stupid, oh, that's gay. You got the three of y'all are gonna pretend like you never.
I never said that word either.
Really? You never said that's gay?
I can genuinely say I've never said that.
I didn't, but I was gay. So.
But I also, I'm not even gonna try to justify it.
I'm not gonna justify either.
But because it wasn't being said to.
Yeah, it wasn't being like.
Homophobic.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't in that way.
Yeah, at least I wasn't being
Or
homophobic.
what about
I never said that word either.
Wait, what word?
I used to say that word. I don't want to say it.
Just say it. I'll bleep it out.
Okay.
I gotta bleep a lot of words out, man.
I used to say that.
Yeah, I've said that.
But I wasn't trying to hurt anybody's feelings by it. You know. It's more direct.
Oh, I didn't realize there were
Yeah.
levels.
There's levels to this. There's levels to this.
There's levels.
I gotta bleep a lot of shit out. This whole segment.
Okay.
But yeah. There's a lot of words when you think about it.
You know, I use that word way too often to refer to myself.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Because I'm short, so I'm just like,
I've referred to myself as that too.
yeah.
Yeah, you're not supposed to use that word. There's a lot of words you're not supposed to use. Well,
A lot of people have a problem with the word bitch now too. I say that all the time. Call my friends a bitch. Hey bitch. You know. So
Nice.
we were having this conversation a while ago.
Are you not allowed to say that?
you can't say that word anymore.
We were having this
Like
conversation.
even amongst friends?
It's not. It's anti-feminist.
We were having a conversation in the break room. Is it anti-feminist? Fucking
ask
feminist.
A feminist. Ask a feminist.
Not Claudia.
They don't like it.
They don't like Claudia.
I don't care.
Somebody just told me. Somebody I know was telling me about the word girl. You know how the community uses the word
Hey,
girl a lot. Yeah, and then somebody was like, "I never called you that, right, B?" I was like, "Yes, you did." And he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." I said, "No, I don't care." But they were having a conversation where they said it to somebody else, and then that person was like, "I'm not a girl." From the community.
Oh my God, like the whole thing of, you know how a lot of times you're like, what's up, guys? Even if
Yes.
it's just
Oh
a
yeah,
group
yeah. I
of-
can't say that no
Can't
more.
do that anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
I say that.
Yeah.
I'm like, what up, guys?
That you could be transphobic. Potentially.
Really?
That's where
Really?
that comes from. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yep.
You
I
gotta
stopped
watch
saying that.
everything.
Hello, folks.
Focus. Great.
Or,
I didn't realize.
Hello, everyone.
So wait, how could it be transphobic? I don't know. Educate me. I'm ignorant to
Because
this.
I guess if you aren't aware that someone's trans and you refer to everyone in the room as
guys.
guys, they could get in their feelings about it. I guess.
Oh, I
same
guess-
thing as
I
same thing
guess
as the
it-
feminist woman. Like
I
they're gonna be
guess-
like,
right, but okay.
Yeah,
well,
that too.
Yeah, the
Like, how
feminist
dare you
woman-
call a woman a guy.
yeah. How dare you
Yeah,
call?
yeah.
I'm a woman.
Well, I mean, if I'm in a group of friends and I walk in, I'm like, oh, what's up, guys? But not like to. I'm like,
Not willy nilly.
right, yeah, not to a group of people that I don't.
You've
know.
never done that. I've done that before.
No, I would just be like, hey, what's up?
I got in trouble for it.
That
I've
used to
had
be
to
my
scale back.
voicemail. Hey guys, leave me a voicemail.
If you're
Was
not
that
a
on
guy-
purpose, Jimmy?
If you're not a guy, do not leave it.
No. I mean, this was a long time ago, but then people started taking it the wrong way. Like I was just talking to guys, and I was like, oh my God, yeah.
That's what I meant.
Right.
I was like, oh, Jimmy, what are you sending signals out here?
Yeah.
The old-fashioned way voicemails. Hey, guys.
Well, that's
Yeah.
good to know.
Yeah, there's a lot of terms we can't use nowadays.
Yeah. Everything's canceled.
Everything's canceled. We're going to sign language it all at some point.
Oh my God.
So do you think cancel culture is going to end? Because to me, it just feels like it's the witch trials. There are no more witches, but people are bored, so they still want to burn people. You know what I mean? Like, when is it going to stop?
Never, Jimmy.
No, yeah.
It's not going anywhere. It's a mentality, though. I mean, if you let them... I've known a lot of people who've been tried to get canceled, and they didn't get canceled. I guess it's also just how you work around it and how bad the shit that you did was. Like, one of the podcasts I listened to, they tried to cancel him 100 times.
Who?
And he's still alive. Joey.
Yeah, they always do it.
I just wanted you to say.
But they're gonna listen to it. Right?
Huh?
They're gonna listen to
They
it.
still gonna listen to him. His podcast still has like 1 million views all the time. So, like, I think I guess it's how you take it and how fucked up the things you were or said did, how you react to them and how bad they were. I mean, if you're a fucking weirdo and a pedophile, then goodbye with you, you know?
Right. If you killed somebody.
If you killed somebody, goodbye with you,
Right.
you know? Like, but like, cause you're into like, I don't know, whipping and like
Eating
weird,
people.
eating people.
Army Hammer, whatever.
Yeah. Like if you're into that, like what the fuck? I don't know, man. Like where'd you get the skin from? I don't know. You know, like,
What are we talking about?
I know, right?
you know, like who cares? Like I don't care about that, right? Like what he does in his behind the scenes. Like recently I meant to ask you guys. This might go a little bit longer, but whatever. I'll cut it off if I need to. There was the dude from Friends. He got into some shit. Chandler.
Matthew Perry.
Yeah. He got in
what?
trouble for well, he somebody tried to cancel him. Some girl put his business out on one of these like app things, where they're like you're there to meet people, and she was like, "Yo, he was trying to talk to me. I'm 20 something. He's 50 something," and like it was a big deal. Apparently,
She's 20 something. That she's legal.
I didn't hear about that.
like it's a legal website to like
Yeah,
like, and it was between somebody who was just younger than him.
of age.
And she made a big deal about it, and people were making a big deal about it.
People were mad at him.
Yeah,
I haven't heard about
they
that.
were trying to like get at him, like, "How dare you? Why would you do that?" And I was like, "Wow, you guys are weird."
What? What?
I think people are bored. I think
Yeah.
people are bored.
That's like crazy. Like that's a different level of. I don't know. Whatever. Well, it was an interesting conversation, y'all. I think we can close it out. Do you have a timer on, Keith? Yeah. What's it at? Oh yeah, perfect. So we're gonna close this out. Jimmy, thanks for being here again. You're the best, man.
Thanks for having me.
You did way better this time. Hopefully the mic cooperated with you, and there's some type of sound coming out of the.
We can hear him. We can hear
You can still hear him?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Okay.
He's good.
All right. So hopefully you recorded something today, Jimmy. We didn't waste your time.
Okay.
Thank you for stopping by again. You're always welcome on the podcast. We call you and fucking have you on here like a lot. You're like tied with Jade for most appearances on the. So thanks for being here. But before we get out of here, I do want to say that we are on all streaming platforms. We are on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and we are on Anchor for your ass. We're on YouTube, so go subscribe. Claudia, me, Keith, and Jimmy would greatly appreciate it. Keith will not tell you though. And yeah. Don't forget, we are your podcast favorite podcast. I forgot to say that shit last week, but I didn't this week.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't say it. I just said, fuck it, close the show. So, yeah, we're your podcast favorite podcast, and we are outie. Peace.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
Happy Juneteenth.